yes! The urn was regained. Redemption is complete. Australia have beaten England by 5-0.
Snuck down to the Four Pines Brewery down at Coolangatta, and I'm here to catch up with a good mate, Ryan Harris, and we're going to reminisce about a glorious summer 8 years ago, the 2013-2014 Ashes, and the legend continues to grow. Thanks for joining me, Ryno.
Good to be here, Bales. Probably one of the best ones I was involved in. What we did, I guess, during that summer was unbelievable. We just had such a great team, and it showed. We didn't change the team, we didn't need to.
Absolutely. I was very grateful they didn't change the team. That was I was the major beneficiary of that.
It's an interesting one. I mean, we'd come back from a tour of England. It was one of those unusual times with back-to-back Ashes series, right? So we'd come back from England, we'd lost over there, but we felt we were really close over there. So, and the plans from over there as well, which we sort of carried over into Australia, that we wanted to make sure we put pressure on Alastair Cook, because we knew that him getting off to a good start gave the English side a lot of confidence. So yeah, managed to get Cookie again, which was nice, and start the series well.
There it is, he's got a wicket. Lovely bowling from Ryan Harris. That's why you like to keep him on.
I just made sure I was there and abouts at Cook's pad or his outside edge, and that's what I tried to do. And same as Sid, they were going to come hard at us because of what Mitch was doing, and Mitch could scare the hell out of them.
And there was a real complementary nature around that. Obviously, you and Mitch spearheading, but just the way Sid's bowls, I always felt like he was right in the mix to get KP out. He just had that ball.
We had the wood over him
the
whole time, and I don't know the figures, but he got him out a lot, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it was almost a mental thing as soon as he came on.
Watto's probably unheralded in that, but his ability, he could swing the ball.
Watto's a really good point. He's probably the one that slips under the radar with the ball. He obviously did a bit with the bat, but again, looking back at some footage, I didn't actually realise how many really important wickets he got at crunch time.
What are the royalties for you every time we talk about that ball?
Yeah,
first
not enough.
ball of the second innings.
Not enough.
Here we go, Ryan Harris. Oh, straight away! He's crashed into the stumps.
There must have been another
Oh
one.
no! Look, I was happy with a lot of the balls I bowled that series, to be honest. One that comes to mind is probably Michael Carberry at the Wacker. They got away to a pretty good start, and I remember talking to Pup about just changing the angle and coming round the wicket, and I did it and got him first ball.
Oh, he's got him! Round the wicket, first ball. Ryan Harris delivers for Australia again. He's a champion, this fella. Yeah, good angle change from Ryan Harris.
The majority of the tests were really tight and ebbed and flowed, and it was little moments that sort of tore the games apart.
Yeah, and it was probably only Sydney where they checked out. We were all over them. I think we won in 3 days, which gave us more time to celebrate, which was a good thing as well. But the first test in Brisbane, we were in a bit of trouble. I think Hads and Mitch put on maybe 100, 120. So there were times where someone had stood up. If we hadn't have done that, we would have been in a bit of trouble.
It's actually a big point of difference because Hads obviously had a hell of a series, but Mitch batted really well. You got some runs, Sids could hold the bat, but we seemed to knock the England tail over for fun, and that became a real sense of pride, I think, within the bowling group.
And I know from a point of view from being a bowler, that's hard. You want to get off the ground, but if the tail add an extra few runs, it makes bowling so much harder, and you're obviously out the field a lot longer. And that was a plan from our point of view, knowing being out there that extra bit, what it can do for the next test and fatigue.
So that 50 in Adelaide, I remember 2 spectacular sixes off Graham Swan, and I've also heard, and I don't know if there's any truth to this, but do you think that had any bearing on him deciding that it was time to retire?
Well, you're saying it was my fault that he retired? We're going back a bit, but in 2010 he got me out first ball. So I had that in the back of my mind. Slog sweeping was one of my favourite shots, and away she went.
Well, there it is, it looks good, 502 when he goes again. This time he has nailed it again. Yes, he has.
I think there was 120 overs bowled. Anderson, Broad, I think they were 20, 25 overs deep. Now for a tail ender, that's a good time to bat.
One of my favourite memories is, I think, the second innings in Adelaide. Mitch bouncing Alastair Cook, crunches a pull shot, and I swivel round, and I reckon you took a hell of a catch.
Yeah, I do remember that. I just finished bowling, so I'm still thinking about what I did, what I can do the next over, and wiping the sweat away. And then I saw Cookie swivel, obviously, and I thought it was coming, but I couldn't see it until right at the end. And then I finally picked it up and had to sort of fall into it at the end. But with the Adelaide Oval and most grounds, when they're at sort of that eye level, they're really hard to pick up. And it was coming at a rate of knots, obviously, with Mitch's pace.
And the opportunity to wrap it up in Perth. What do you remember around the build-up to that final day and knowing we were about to do something pretty special?
There wasn't too many test matches or games of cricket that I played that I was really nervous about. You know, even my debut, like I was pretty calm, got a good night's sleep. And this night in particular, I reckon I had about 3 hours sleep. So I'm laying in there tossing and turning, and it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, which I never got up before 6 or 6:30 even. I was a good sleeper. So I got up and I thought, I'll have a shower, I'll get dressed and just sort of head down, thinking I was just be sneaking around. I got down there, I reckon there were 5 or 6 blokes down there with exactly the same feel. I was like, gee, you guys are here early. It's like, yeah, so are you. I'm like, well, I couldn't sleep, and they were the same. It was the thought of winning an Ashes was such a huge thing. It was really hard to calm that excitement, and also feeling the excitement for your mate as well. What we're about to do is huge.
In the air, and that's it! That's it! After 4 long years, the most famous trophy in world cricket returns to Australia.